broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Come on now, snap with it. Gone, gone, gone. Doom, 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 doom.
That's what it feels like when you lose your love. Yes, welcome to another episode of AfterBuzz TV's recap of The Game on BET Season 9, Episode 9. What is this called? What more can I say?
Which was actually a song by Jay-Z. But I like...
No, that wasn't a song by Jay-Z. It was a remake of a... Yeah, get it right, bro.
Whatever. What was the name of the original?
I don't know, but I know there was original.
What more can I say?
Right. All right, so this episode, let me first introduce us because clearly I was so ready to jump in. I'm Megan Thomas at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And who are you, sir?
I am Kevin John, apparently the man that doesn't need an introduction. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Kevin John. And yeah, I'm here with Megan Scoop.
I know.
Two-man team.
Courtney sends her love to you guys. She'll be back next week. Well, let's just talk about this episode. First of all, what did you think? Overall thoughts.
I thought this episode did a great job of setting up the finale because it kind of left you on a cliffhanger there.
Yes, it did.
It just got more and more interesting. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. Are the players going to be able to play? Is Malik going to be getting in there because half the team is sick? And then you wonder about who got shot. Did Rick get shot? Is it a terminal bullet? You wonder... There's so many things to wonder about. You wonder, at the end, Kira going back to Blue. Are they going to reconcile their... and get back together? What's going to happen there? There's just so much
There's a lot.
It's very inconclusive right now.
Well, let's talk about it. Okay, so the episode opens up with Malik looking into the camera and saying that, you know, I've been trying to say this. I think we should go our separate ways. I thought he was talking to a mirror.
I thought he was in a mirror too
because practicing what he's going to say to Kira.
Exactly. And you've seen that a lot of times in television shows and movies when they're talking in the mirror. I was like, oh, he's talking in the mirror. And then also sounds like he's talking in the mirror. It doesn't really sound like he's talking to somebody. But he is. He's talking to Kira and she slaps the bejesus out of him. Oh, she left a mark.
She did. I don't know. I don't like this. I wanted them to be together. They seem very much for each other. They're best friends.
Let me tell you something.
What?
Let me tell you something.
What do you want?
I want you to listen.
Here we
which
go.
You always do a good job of.
Do.
You do. You know, the thing is this, Megan. You have to look at a guy like Malik. All right? You really look at a guy like Malik. Is he really a relationship man, a one-woman man, till death do us part kind of man? No, no, and no.
People can change.
Absolutely, people can change, but you know what? People also stay the same for a lot of reasons as well, you know, and sometimes
this is a different relationship. It's his friend. He's never dated his best friend.
Which, if anything, I think if anything, that was kind of the reason why they didn't last, because it was such his best friend. He felt so comfortable around her. He could just do whatever he wanted because he knows her more than anyone else.
But is that a bad thing?
No, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you take advantage of the fact that you're so comfortable around somebody.
Okay, maybe.
Otherwise, but I didn't. In other words, I'm saying all the same, Megan. I didn't for 1 second think that was.
Boo! And so we have a couple of you guys. Make sure you use the hashtag ABTVTheGame if you have any comments or if you have any questions about this episode. We have one person so far at Hampton Blue. What's up? Shout out to you, saying I was disappointed in how they have developed the Malik character. It would have been much better for him to choose Kira and be happy. What?
Okay, well, my response to Miss Hampton Blue is that you got to understand, I just said, Malik is not the type of one-woman man. I understand people change. I understand people can redeem themselves and their character. But guess what? Malik isn't, all right?
Clearly.
He's stuck in his ways. And unfortunately, and I you know what, I agree with Hampton. I would like to have seen Malik get some character redemption and ride off in the sunset as it ends with the girl that he wants to be with forever. I would have liked that to have made a fairy tale ending, but guess what? The game is not a fairy tale ending. It gets real.
Yes,
Boom.
I guess. All right, so then let's talk a little bit about Chardonnay and Roger. We saw before that, they're going to date. Now they went to their church date. They're at Fatty's.
Jesus.
Look at that. Jesus connection, honey.
Jesus can heal, save, and redeem.
I like them together.
You like everybody together.
No, I don't. I don't like Jason and Kelly.
And that's the one couple that's going to outlast everybody.
No, they're not.
They are the couple that are made for each other. Anyways, we ain't talking about them right now.
So then so those two are together, Roger and Chardonnay. They're together. They seem to have a really cute relationship until we see what happens later. But then also, speaking of relationships, we see that Jason and Kelly are prepping for the big game, the playoffs. And they get some news that Herbie has bought the Sabres without their help.
Which was, I could have seen that coming. I mean, obviously he didn't need their help anyway, or the little contribution that they're going to, do. But now it's an interesting dynamic because technically Herbie is now Jason's boss.
Right.
So he has complete control and power over him and the blonde girl that, he refers
smashed her wife.
Goldilocks or whatever he calls her, Papa Bear.
Right. And when they meet with Papa Bear, I love how he's like, what? We should change the name of San Diego Sabres to the Swingers or to the Sausages. What?
And then the guy's all,
San Diego Sausages.
And then, maybe he laughed as his assistant was like, yeah, everyone loves a sausage party.
Right.
So, that was hilarious.
Right. And so he gives him the ultimatum. He's like, you can have, Jason, you can be the permanent head coach if you let me have one night with your wife. 3 years for a contract, permanent contract, and a nice hefty salary.
Hefty salary, and with guaranteed. Megan, think about it. If you were, because you got to think at the end of the day, Kelly, she's just doing this for the couple. She's doing it for the family.
I think if Jason made her do it, she would do it.
I think she would too. And no disrespect to Kelly, but that's just kind of the way that her character seems. Like she would hop at it because
they've always wanted to be the king and the queen of Sabre country, as she said in the past, and
And
if
then,
it's one night with this guy that you've been with before.
But you know what? Kudos to Jason because he held his ground. He said, look, one night with my wife is not worth $10 million, $30 million, $50 million. However, you cannot buy my wife or put a price on that.
But he did ask.
He did. He just had to verify. He had to make sure,
Why? If you know that you're not going to sell your wife to be the permanent head coach of a team, why do you even need to know how long is a contract? Like how much money am I going to get? Why do you need to know that?
Because those are things you just want to know. It's kind of like, for example.
Why do you need to know if you already said you're not going to do that?
Say you're on a game show, the Price is Right or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something, and you lose. You still want to be like, well, what would it have been anyway had I won? You still want to know. You just want to know what it would have been.
There's no need for that.
It's called clarification.
He's pimping his wife out. But I can't believe he would have said that, though. I can't believe that Herbie asked for that. And then he said, well, he's willing to compromise, and he said that he wanted to just watch them have sex. How disgusting is that?
I mean, that's not disgusting if it's...
Well, does that make a difference then? It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to let somebody else smash my wife, but I can smash my wife and let somebody watch. To be permanent head coach for 3 years with a big, hefty salary and benefits.
You got to think about it this way, all right? At least this little scenario he proposed, he's not touching Kelly. Mm-hmm. He's not smashing her. He's not doing anything to violate her personal space. He's actually just a spectator, like a fly on the wall.
So that would have been okay then?
Absolutely not. I'm not by any means. I'm not condoning it by any means necessary. I'm still thinking that it really, honestly, to me, that kind of even sounds more perverted than him actually just asking to smash
right.
Like, that just sounds creepy and perverted to say, well, let me just watch. That's just like, whoa. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not like he's...
Ew, he's a nasty, dirty old man. Well, anyway, back to Malik. He goes and talks to TT, and he tells TT to... Remember the few seasons ago, TT poisoned somebody with the cluck truck. The man caught food poisoning and died.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course... Malik wants to make sure he's on that playoff team so that he can help the team win and solidify his status as a top-notch football player. And he tells TT to make sure that the food is poisoned for his event that he's having for all of the players. TT brings up a good question because he talks about, Malik breaking up with Kira, and Malik says it had to be done. You know, I got to stay focused. It was a distraction. I got to stay focused on the team so that I can play. And TT says, first of all, what do you mean? The relationship you're in? He said, you had a girl you always wanted, but you're throwing that all away to hopefully play in a playoff game. Was TT right?
Well, I mean, was he right in the sense of
like,
basically
is that,
questioning Malik's motive to do that?
No, his
absolutely.
What I'm saying is his decision. Did Malik make the right choice?
Well, you got to look at it two ways. Did Malik make the right choice for Malik as a football player, or did Malik make the right choice for Malik as the person, the human being?
As a person, period.
I think as a person, he made a terrible decision. I think as a football player, he made a business decision. It may have been the right decision, but I feel as a person, he made the wrong decision. And reason being is, even though we've seen Malik, you know, he has even before this, his reputation preceded him. So we know how he is, which I was saying earlier. I don't necessarily think, honestly, that Kira would have been a major distraction. But I think more than anything, what's silly is the fact that he thinks as a third-string quarterback, he's going to actually get an opportunity to play.
Which is why I think I get what he's trying to accomplish, but I think it's a poor decision. You don't. First of all, you've been friends with this girl forever. It's never affected your football skills. So
but they were never together, though.
But
too.
They were friends.
That's another
so
dynamic.
Here's the thing, it doesn't matter if you guys are together now. You're friends, so you know how it is to be around her a lot because you've been around her a lot. So that's an excuse to me for the reason why he's not where he wants to be in football.
Megan, let me tell you something.
You can't sit here and be like, I'm going to break up with her so I can focus on football. No, you were already third-string quarterback before you got with her.
Megan, let me tell you something.
What?
Do you know what it commands on the body and the mind in order to play quarterback in the NFL?
Okay, I get that. I get that.
No,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Ask
it's
Peyton
taxing.
Manning's wife.
I'm telling you, it's taxing, and I get that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he was already in this position before he met her. This is not as a result of her, but he's breaking up with her because he says it's hindering him accomplishing his goal.
But they weren't together when he got.
It doesn't. He was already third-string quarterback. He was already in that position.
But you got to understand. You got to understand, though. His plan is obviously to play because of the food poisoning. So if he goes through with that plan, then yes, obviously it's going to change the dynamic because he's no longer third stream. He's no longer the third one at the end of the bench.
Well, if you're going to do the food poisoning, why break up with her anyway? You know you're going to play. He shouldn't even broke up with her.
But then that's why he broke up with her, so he could focus since he's going to be the starter now. That's a lot of stuff he has. Let me tell you something, Megan. Preparing for a game as a third-stream quarterback is drastically different than preparing for a game as a starting quarterback.
Absolutely, I can agree.
Because he knew he was going to start, he needed all the time and focus on himself in order to do it. Now,
selfish decision. Boom.
It is. And by the way, I don't want it just to sound like I'm defending him. I'm not defending him at all. I think what he did was a bonehead decision. I'm just justifying and trying to rationalize why he did that.
Right. And then, of course, Kira talks to her girl, Chardonnay, about being dumped by her best friend, Malik. And Chardonnay has some words of advice, in addition to Roger, who has words of advice. Is it right to bring your friend over to consult with... Wait, let me word this correctly. Kira made a note that she said that Chardonnay broke the girl code, which was, I wanted to talk to you about this guy, and you bring your man, and you tell your man everything, and now he thinks he has an opinion on what I'm doing with my life. Is Kira right about that? Did Chardonnay break girl code?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
If a man did it, would be guy code?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to realize, if you're in any kind of relationship, significant other, you're going to discuss with that significant other things that go on around your friends. Right. Everyone does it. You know, they'd be like, oh, and this and that. So that to me wasn't the issue. The issue was the fact that he had the audacity to try to come over there and get in on this counseling session with her as if he knew Kira personally and that well. That was breaking code. She should not have brought him over there, and he should have not been any of that conversation. If she wants to go back and tell him, that's fine. But she should not have blatantly made it obvious right in front of her. That was just awkward and kind of disrespectful. Right. So,
and I don't know, what man really wants to be around that when girls are dishing on men? Like, what man really wants to sit there and listen?
A man that may be insecure. may want to know a thing or two. Who knows?
Right.
Which we find out he is insecure later on in the.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So there's the Read Write Foundation that Kelly helped Malik start because, of course, he can't read that well. That was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. But so they have this, and I love how Kelly starts off with a story about Dick. Everyone needs Dick. Everyone.
That was see Dick run, see Dick play. We all need Dick in our lives. So what was she saying?
Right.
I was dying, and Jason the whole time was like, stop, enough with the dicks.
Oh, funny. And so then at this event, a few things are going on. We see that the whole food poisoning plan is underway. It doesn't go as planned because clearly other players get the food poisoned food.
Yeah.
Besides the people
and that's
who
what
it was
I said.
intended for.
But even when it was going on, that's what I said. I'm like, dude, he's going to end up poisoning. Because the thing is, and you've been to parties where people walk around with trays.
Right.
People are going to pick off a bit. May I have that before you get, like,
right.
Honestly, I think he should have devised the plan a little better if he wanted to poison them specifically. But anyways.
Wasn't the best plan.
It wasn't the best plan. Exactly.
Right. And that's even worse because this event is hosted by him. And he already has been involved with the Cluck Truck who had a food poisoning incident in the past. Like, as a businessman, this is horrible for your brand. Let's just say that.
It is.
Nobody's going to trust you, and you need this gig after football. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I think really that particular scene there just really solidified Malik's selfishness.
Right.
And how much he's just all about. You see him earlier breaking up with Kira. Who cares? It's all about me now. Oh, get everybody sick. It just shows how self-centered he is as a person. And, He
hasn't learned in 9 seasons. It's really sad. I wanted there to be some growth. I wanted to leave with, and it's funny because Hampton Blue did say something about that. You can use the hashtag ABTV the game. Let us know what you guys think. She said something to the effect of she's disappointed in, oh, no, I already read that. She says Hosea, who plays Malik, has said he was not 100% happy with his ending. I now see why, which is true because that would have been great for Malik's character to go out with a bang, to go out with he's so different. He's a great person. I don't know. It would have been different to see him just blossom into his better self. But clearly, we have 1 episode left. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Let me tell you something. First of all, this is not a Tyler Perry movie. All right. We're at the end, and it's this fairy tale ending, and everything works out. Okay,
I wanted it to be happy.
No disrespect to Tyler Perry, by the way, love the man. But at the end of the day, this is just real, and I think that's why that's why the writers decided to go that way because they're like, okay, we all of a sudden turn him around and turn him into this redemptive character who all of a sudden has this better meaning of life, and it's like, is that really realistic? At this particular point in time. I understand what you're saying. I understand what Hampton, some of the fans are saying, but it's just not realistic, and I don't see it happening.
Whatever. You so negative Norman over here.
If you want to call being realistic negative, then go ahead and take
negative Norman. And so, of course, at this party, we see
optimistic Octavia over there.
Oh, gosh. So we have Jason and Kelly at the party, and they run into Roger and Chardonnay. And, it kind of seems like, Chardonnay's like, I'm with my new boo. Hello. Gets a little awkward.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you even talking to them? I feel like Chardonnay should have just been like, no, babe. No, Raj. Let's just go. Let's keep it moving. There's no point in discussing anything with them. Just say hi and keep moving, right?
Well, I think Baby Raj kind of made a good point after their argument. He was like, you were more concerned with how you looked in front of him.
Right.
And I think that's why she went up to him and talked to him and said, well, look at me now. I got the man. My man is being courted by other teams and all this other stuff. She wanted to make it look like she was winning. And and women, don't act like y'all don't do that when y'all see y'all ex-boyfriends around. Y'all want to come up and act like you guys are winning.
All of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like you missed out on all this. You let this go. So I know, and that's what she was trying to do at that particular point in time. Unfortunately, it backfired on her, and and it's really unfortunate because she really put Baby Roger in the middle of it.
I know,
and it wasn't like
It seemed like she was too harsh on him when she pulls him to the side, and she was like, "You lost your swag, like you making me look stupid." I was just like, "Oh, poor."
No, I do agree with her on that. First of all, as a man, first of all, you never allow another man to defeat you, and whether it's a verbal debate or anything. And if you do get verbally defeated, you hold your head high. You don't walk away with your head down, exposing your insecurities, vulnerabilities, and your overall sadness.
Oh.
I mean, that's cute for you guys, but as a man, no, you do not get showed up like that and then just walk away with your head down like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. No.
No, I mean, I do agree. He should have been more positive and said, like, when Jason kept saying it's bad, he should be like, no, I mean, it's good. It's better than no job. Like, wait, do you have a job? Really? Okay.
Exactly. And that's thank you. And at the end of the day, he could have twisted it around, but basically you just submitted to Jason's little plan of saying you ain't nothing. And you ended up saying it yourself. Yeah, it's bad. I'm nothing. It's like, dude, come on, man. At the end of the day, you'd still be like, yeah, I'm being courted. They may not be NFL teams, but they're still teams, which is going to eventually get me back to the NFL. I may go to the CFL. I may do arena football. I may do what have you. But the point is, I'm in demand. Jason, can you say that you're in demand right now from other teams? Probably not. Well, at least your girl is in demand from other people. Anyways, see, I would have took it too far, probably.
Bloop, yeah, you would have. Yeah, and so she says to him that, she basically Chardonnay basically breaks up with Roger, and she says that she wasn't ready to be in this relationship. And I don't know, I kind of feel bad because I really wanted her to move on. I really wanted her to... I wanted her to have some, like, okay, it's good. It's because she had that come to Jesus moment where she was like, I wish them the best, whatever. I'm over that. I'm moving on with my life. And here she is right back at square one. She's not really over it.
Yeah, I think, I think part of that is, I honestly still don't think she's over Jason, to be honest.
She's not. That's what she says. And it's so sad. I'm like, oh.
And obviously that really showed there. But also, I don't really think that she was really into baby Roger that much. We saw him kind of pursue her. And I think she was trying to play the role of a woman that's happy with this new guy. But I don't think deep down she really was happy. She was just trying to play the part.
I think she does.
And she kind of alluded to that.
She needs some time off. I mean, I feel like anytime you're in a big breakup, I think the statistics say it takes you 18 months to get over somebody. So you should take time. Like, you might not need, months? On average, it says it takes about 18 months to get over somebody. But I mean, everyone's different. Everybody takes time differently, but clearly she didn't take any time off for real from this relationship.
And that just also goes to show, a lot of times when you're trying to get over somebody, and that's why I hate it when people are trying to get over somebody and friends are like, well, just go out and date other people.
Right.
I think that's the worst thing you could possibly do, because the thing is, what Chardonnay needs to do, to bring it back, is instead of just sweeping it underneath the rug, she needs to deal with it. Because if you just sweep it under the rug, it's going to eventually come back out and expose itself. So I think the fact is, she did not, instead of sweeping, she needs to vacuum it up and get rid of it.
Right.
And until she does that, don't go out and date. And, I understand her rationale behind it. And baby
she can date TT, though.
Right? He's
TT's looking for a date. He's pretty safe to date.
He is.
Yeah. So, of course, they end up breaking up. So we'll see what happens with them. Jason and Kelly get a call from the Sabres team. They are lined up for the toilet and the urinal and everything because they're throwing up. Everybody's sick.
It's just a nasty scene, yeah. And, if you ever had food poisoning, you could definitely relate to those kind of situations. Yes, I am.
It does not stop.
It's
Why
horrible.
is it still coming?
Thank you for the graphic image. Thank you. By the way, you said yours is green, not blue, right?
No, I did not say that.
Anyways.
So that I don't know how that's going to go down. What happens, though, in an NFL? What if your NFL team, like, in reality, if that really happened in the NFL and like half the team or more than half the team wasn't able to play because they were sick, does the team have to forfeit?
No, you don't forfeit. That's why you have the practice squad. The practice squad is already assigned to the team. And then you just add them. Those are players that you can call up the day before, sign them on a 10-day contract, a 1-week contract. Every football team has a roster, a practice squad.
Light bulb prediction. Derwin is on the practice squad. They call him to come play the game. That's why he's on the season finale.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Wow,
Light bulb.
That's a bold prediction.
I'm saying because why else? We have one episode left. We know that Derwin and Melanie come back. Why else would they come to the team if they did? I mean, you saw the receiver, that one guy who was third string, take the poisoned sandwich, so the poisoned chicken. So he's out. So they do need a receiver. Derwin's a receiver. Mm-hmm. That means Derwin's about to be on the team because of the food poisoning.
It comes full circle now.
Woo!
It comes full circle.
I figured it out. Because we kept trying to figure out why he's on the team. Now we know.
That is...
I think I'm think it's pretty logical, right, guys?
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, there's really no other reason why they would come back. So we will.
Okay, sorry. It was an epiphany that happened. I had to share it.
That's good. Thank you.
So that's with them, and then we see that Malik. We'll see what happens with Malik being the only well person on the team, and then we also see what happens with Kira. She goes over to Blue's house.
Blue, if you take her back, you are a sucker.
Why?
With a capital S.
Sucker for love. What's wrong with that?
Seriously?
Don't be a sucker for love.
What's wrong with that? Are you serious, Megan?
He's not going to take her back that easily.
Well, he has one episode to do it. I mean, how hard? You have 20 minutes to make it happen. This is the thing. I know how lovely that would look for her to come back and her and Blue. I would be so upset. I honestly would boycott the game after. Well, it's actually not going to come out. It's not going to come out anymore.
Boycott it.
But it just would not be realistic. And
Why?
I say that because this was a woman that not only cheated on him, but after that left him with no regard to his personal feelings and ended up getting with her best friend, which was, that was the most tactful, selfless, disrespectful, disregarding possible way that you can even end a relationship.
Right. I do agree with that.
So
you don't smash the homies and come back.
Thank you, Megan. Yeah,
don't do that.
That's a cardinal rule. You don't smash your homie and come back. Please don't.
But that's real love. If he can forgive her.
No, that's not. There's nothing real about that love.
Are you serious?
That is false love.
That's a lie because in real life that does happen.
Megan, you want to know what love is? Love is patient. Love is kind.
Love does not
boast.
It does not keep track of wrongs.
Love is not boast. Love does not envy.
Keep going.
Love is enduring.
It does not keep track of wrongs.
Whatever. I never read that part.
It's in there. You don't skip over that part. You don't skip over that. Okay.
Love
but I'm saying that's real love to forgive somebody who's done something so dirty.
Let me ask you a question.
Would I take him back?
Would you take somebody back if they did the same thing to you? They left you, smashed their homie, and
not immediately. No, I don't even know to that. I would have to take time to figure out if this was somebody I really love. Like it's
it would take longer than one episode. Probably.
Absolutely longer than one episode. It might take like a couple of seasons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's something hard to get over. But I'm not gonna say that they can't be back together. Like if it's real love, you know what? Love is enduring. It goes through the toughest of the tough, and it's very forgiving. Love is forgiving. So so Bill Cosby, was that love as well? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So okay, Ray Rice, was that love?
We're not talking about beating people. And even still, like that is nothing. I'm not saying that, I'm not condoning that ever. I would never condone that. But what I'm saying, we're talking about somebody cheating. So we got to use the context of someone cheating.
You might as well say that somebody she beat him.
No,
that is a pounding on the heart.
Oh my gosh, here you go. I can't even deal with you on this.
Megan,
let's talk about Tasha.
Okay,
because that was a crazy scene. Tasha's trying to run away with baby Kai to Vegas of all places. That's the worst place for a baby. And it's because Pookie's on his way to pick up Kai, I'm assuming for, they have joint custody or whatever. She runs into Rick Fox. He's back. We knew he was coming back. We've been predicting it. We just didn't know when. He's back. And he wants, baby Kai is 6 months now? Because they said something about her being 6 months. So he's waited 6 months to come through and see her without a phone call to see if the baby's his. And he realized it's not because 2 brown skins don't make a light skin.
2 browns don't make a light.
That is such a lie. Black people come in all shades, okay?
That is
From the whitest of the white to the darkest of the dark. And it does not matter what hue you are. Your children could be different colors from you.
Yeah, that is very true.
We have a lot of recessive traits as black people. Mm-hmm. So you can have 2 light-skinned people have a dark-skinned baby. You can have 2 dark-skinned people have a light-skinned baby. I see it all the time.
Take it back to the ancestry.
2 browns can make a light baby.
Just in my family, 2 browns made a light.
That's what I'm saying, because you can. Black people, we have different color in our recessive genes, yo.
We do. Thank you for getting geological with
it. Geological.
No,
Just stop before you make yourself not sound smart.
I know.
Okay, so then this whole situation is crazy because Tasha's like, okay, we got to walk and talk. I'm leaving. You can come with me. When Rick says that 2 browns don't make a light-skinned baby, she's like, you're right. Then she's like, wait a minute. Let me let you see her under the light, though. She's doing that, and that's when I was like, oh, well, she really does want to get back with him. She's hoping there's some ray of hope that could draw him into her. And I know our lovely co-host, Courtney, she loves Rick Fox, and she's so team Rick Fox.
What you got against Rick?
Oh, I think he's fine. He's fine. But I don't like him for Tasha. I never liked him. I never liked him for Tasha. He doesn't make her better.
And Pookie does?
Yes.
For real? By bringing 45 Magnums over and...
That's his profession.
Around a baby? Really?
His profession is security, so he does have to have heat on him.
Oh, really? They're going to excuse that for...
I don't think carrying heat is wrong. It's an amendment. It's a right.
Yeah, the right to bear arms. But still, you should not do that around children. And especially if you don't have the lock on it. You should have the safety lock on the gun. Which obviously he did not have. What if that bullet hit the baby?
That's what I was thinking, though. It might have hit the baby.
Exactly. So
it might hit the baby.
Which he should have had that safety lock on if he knows so much about carrying guns for protection.
Right. Which he probably did, but in his drunkenness, because clearly you don't carry a gun in your side hip without the safety on. So I'm assuming he had it. You shouldn't have a gun
if you're drunk.
Exactly. You shouldn't be handling weapons if you are inebriated. Clearly, this is what can happen. You know, so she comes into the house and has Rick there, which is the most horrible idea. Pookie comes over. They all need a drink because clearly the situation is so messed up. But Tasha is clearly not over Rick. She still likes him. Her and Pookie have learned to be cordial with the baby, right?
That whole situation is just a mess.
It's just a mess.
It's just a mess.
And then when they started drinking and each one of the guys was like pulling Tasha, I was like, oh, this is about to get real messy.
And it did. It was, that's just bad business. You know, that whole scenario there was just bad.
Right. Who do you think got shot when that gun went off?
Oh, Rick. Because you saw I had to go back and rewind it, but it looked like the barrel of the gun was pointing at Rick's abdominal area. Right. So it looked like he got shot. Now, whether or not he, or maybe they're trying to do it to where no one got shot. Maybe it just looked like it's pointing that direction and it ended up hitting the wall. You never know what they're...
I don't know, but the panic that you hear from Tasha seems like it hit somebody.
Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she just panicked thinking that it did.
What if it hit Tasha?
What if it hit Tasha? What if it ricocheted and hit the bit? Well, they probably wouldn't write in for it to hit the baby.
I know. That would really take it away from being a dramedy. That's straight drama.
That would just be deep.
I know, right? Too deep for a season finale.
So probably, yeah.
Well, actually, no. It can't be. It can't be Tasha because I've seen a clip that Gary G. Thank Johnson posted. Thank you, Hampton Blue, for sending that over to us. But he posted on his Instagram. It was a shot of him driving Derwin and Melanie. It was on the show that he was driving them. I guess in the back of the stadium, and Tasha walks over to them and is like, "Oh, Derwin, Melanie," and she's fine. So she's probably not the one that got shot. Well, and because she seems to be okay, I don't know if anyone got shot.
It may be
because if it was her baby, I'm sure she would not be at no Sabre Stadium.
It was probably Rick. We'll
see, but I don't think it was like a fatal. It's not fatal. This is still somewhat a comedy, so it can't be fatal. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, because people can still die in comedies, You ever seen
but
Weekend at Bernie's?
He's not going to be dead. If he's dead, there's no way that Tasha would be hanging out at the Sabre Stadium. He's not dead. He can't be dead.
Okay. I can buy that.
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, maybe it just grazed the abdominal area. Maybe it didn't hit any arteries or any vital organs.
I don't know. Hopefully not. We have one comment. Let's talk about some predictions. We've already had some.
You already came up with the prediction
we have,
of all.
One.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about Hampton Blue said ABTV the game. So agree. Meg Scoop and Malik proposes to Kira next week. So I don't know where they are going. So that's in the flash, or in the
we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, what happens next week? Which
Malik proposes to Kira?
From what it seems.
Oh my God.
I don't know where this is
going. Or maybe they're
then.
just trying to throw us off with the thing.
Nope, I'm telling you, they're gonna be together.
Malik and Kira?
Yes, they are. They have to be.
I mean,
best friends, love. That's awesome. Who doesn't want to marry their best friend?
Depends on who your best. What if your best friend is like the same sex as you? My best friend is a male. I can't marry him.
No, I have male best friends. I have female best friends. I mean, if you're gay, then obviously that wouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely.
But if you're not gay, then you wouldn't be dating your same sex best friend. Hello, come on, be practical.
See, the thing is with Malik and Kira and this whole thing with dating best friends and stuff like that, it's good because it's literally somebody that you're with. You know, you always hear people that have been married 70 years. What is the secret? I married my best friend. You hear that a lot of times.
Right.
But at the other flip side of that, is like if you see someone as your best friend, I think that takes a little bit of the romance away from it as well. Because there's a certain, because I have some female best friends, but I look at them as like sisters. Like, oh, that's my sister.
But that's what I'm saying. That's different. That's when you look at a woman as your sister, then that takes away the romance, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ever trust somebody who is best friend is a person of the opposite sex and they don't see each other as brother and sister.
Let me ask you a question. Your best friends that are male, wouldn't you call them like, oh, that's like my brother?
No, that's not like my brother. That's my brother.
Okay, see, so that's
my brother.
So that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, I want whoever I'm with to be my best friend. It doesn't have to start off as the best friend, but it is the best friend.
Okay, now that I agree.
See what I mean?
I do agree with that.
Right.
Absolutely, it can evolve into a best friend. Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. So if he ended up proposing to her, it's just so hard because while that is believable, I'm not sold that Malik is ready to be a one-woman man. Like, I'm just not sold on his ready to settle down.
Well, you don't have to be because it's the last episode, okay? You don't have a choice, Kevin.
I don't. You're right.
Let us know what you guys think. What are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen for the season finale of the final episode of the final season of The Game? What do you think is going to happen? Please let us know what your comments are. Put them in down below in our area. If you are on YouTube, just hit the comments and make sure you follow AfterBuzz TV. Hit the subscribe button so you can get all of our shows. Where can we find you, Kevin?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HeyKevinJohn. You can also find me next week in Minneapolis. Unfortunately, I will not be here for the finale after show because I will be in a conference out of town. But I will be thinking about you guys, and please include me in all your tweets and all your predictions because I still will read all of that stuff.
Yes, and you can find me, Megan Thomas, at Meg Scoop on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Please let me know what your comments are about this show because I love to hear your comments, your predictions, all of that stuff. And always use the hashtag ABTVTheGame so we can see what your comments are. Until next week, y'all. Bye.
And Megan, real quick, I just want to say it's been a pleasure doing this after show with you.
I'm gonna miss
Thank you. Megan brought me the best birthday cake ever known to man.
Aww,
and I just want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Don't worry, my birthday's coming up next year.
I'm going to have a Betty Crocker on deck. So.
Bye. See you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Oh my.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.